Hello sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Back and Forth, the only show that makes less money than the Houston Astros. I'm Sean Wagner-McGough.
And I'm Eduardo Sanchez.
And we're going back
and forth.
On Monday, the Cal women's basketball team defeated Georgia 65-62 in overtime to advance to their first Final Four in school history. Eduardo, what were your thoughts on the game?
Well, Sean, initially this game was a huge struggle. Cal only made one of their first 19 shots against the Georgia Bulldogs. Led by senior Clarington, the Golden Bears made an impressive win against the Georgia Bulldogs. She carried Cal to victory. She had one of the best games in her career, making 17 points out of the 25 in the second half. Sean, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I can't disagree with you there. Clarington really had a great performance in that second half in overtime. You got to remember, Cal was down by 10 with 7 minutes left. She carried the team to force overtime, and ultimately the Bears were able to prevail by 3. But for me, the true story does lie with the head coach and Lindsay. She's only 35 years old. It's only her second year at the helm of the Cal program, and yet she's already accomplished so much more than her predecessors all combined. If you recall, this year Cal won their first Pac-12 title in school history. They had their first 30-win season, and now they're on to their first Final Four appearance in their entire school history. In fact, the last time a school from the West Coast, other than Stanford, reached the Final Four was Long Beach State in 1988. So this is quite an accomplishment, and she's really leading the team with her free-flowing style. She wears her emotions on her sleeves, evidenced by that interview at the end of the game where, it looked like she was going to come to tears. It was really quite moving stuff, and I think a lot of the country right now are pulling for these Golden Bears simply because of the inspirational performance from Clarendon and the great leadership from Lindsay.
Now that Cal's in the Final Four, Sean, what do you think? We think we're going to bring home that national championship?
For the Bears to bring home first place in the Final Four, they're really going to need to step up their game in 2 specific areas. The first one being right out of the gate, they got to get off to a much better start than they did against Georgia. Like you said earlier, they made 1 of 19 shots. That can't happen again. They can't rely on having remarkable comebacks with under 10 minutes left like they did against Georgia. The second area of concern that I have is from the free throw line. Throughout the Georgia game, Cal only made 50% of their shots from the charity stripe. Those numbers really need to improve because, as we've all seen, in order to close out a tough game at the championship level, you've got to make free throws. If you don't make free throws, it gives the other team a chance to come back and force overtime or steal the game from you. So what Cal needs to do is they need to hit their shots from the free throw line. Those are free points. And if they can do that, I think they're going to be in every game.
Fortunately for the Bears, Baylor and Stanford are knocked out of the tournament, making it easy for Cal to make it this far. However, UConn is still in this tournament, and they're going to make things a lot difficult. They've been here before, they have the experience, they've grown from the experience, and, well, anything can happen at this point. The ball is in the air. Hopefully the Lady Bears will pull through this. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching another episode of Back and Forth, the only show that scores more than Lionel Messi. I'm Eduardo Sanchez.
And I'm Sean Wagner-McGough. Be sure to tune in next week to get your download of What's Up in Cal Sports.